Hey guys, it's Stacy, and I just posted about how I was making kombucha, and some of you were interested in how I make it. So I wanted to quickly show you what I'm doing. So I was talking about doing second ferment. So what you're gonna start with is you need a good sized jar. I like a lot of it, so I usually do the gallon jug. And you're gonna need a SCOBY. So this thing in here is called the SCOBY. You can order a kit online. I think you can even get them from Amazon now. Or if you know someone who does kombucha near you, you can get a piece of it. So it continues to grow, and what it eats is actually sugar. So right now I just finished this one. So I have a SCOBY in here, and I have a little bit of the juice left from my last batch. So you want to save a little bit of it. And then so that it's kind of covered. And now I'm brewing some tea. So I'm going to do about a gallon of water, and I am going to put in about, I think it's 9 tea bags. So you can either do black tea or you can do green tea. And today I am going to do black tea. Okay, so I have Newman's Own organic black tea, nothing special. So what I do to make it easier is I take all the bags, so I'll do it right now, and I pull off the little tab, and then I tie them in a bunch so that when I throw them in the gallon of water, I can collect it easily. I sometimes just throw them in there and it makes it way harder for myself. So you need about 9 black tea bags, a pot of water, and then once it's boiled and your tea has gone in, you're gonna do a whole cup of sugar. So I do organic white sugar. Hi Amy, this is for you. So I do a whole cup of organic white sugar, and I pour it into the black tea, and then I stir it up. I let it cool. I don't know if you have to. I'm pretty sure you do, because you don't want to burn your SCOBY, because it is a living organism. So I brew all of that up, and then I let it cool until it's at least room temperature, and then I will pour it in here. So I'm going to pour the black tea in here until it comes up to about the top. And then that's it. You just let it sit for about 10 to 14 days, depending on the temperature. In the winter, here does better because we have the heat on, so it's a little bit warmer in here. In the summer, it tends to be a little bit cooler in here. So it takes longer in the summer to brew than it does in the winter for me. But I think probably for the opposite of people who don't have central air conditioning. So that's all you do for the first ferment. And then you can take, I always put a little piece of cloth on top and a rubber band, just to keep it so that no bugs or anything get in there. So what's going to happen is this SCOBY right here is a live living organism, and it's going to eat the sugar out of the tea. And when it does that, it ferments it, and it makes it so that that's where you get all of the really good digestion properties and all of that stuff. So as you go, this SCOBY will get bigger and thicker, and you'll have to pull it apart so that you don't have like this big giant chunk in your first ferment. So this is first ferment. So now what do I do when this is all done? So it's been about 14 days. I will take the top off, and I'll take a straw and I'll stick it in the water with my thumb or finger on the end to get some of the liquid in it, and I'll taste it. And if it tastes still kind of sweet, it's not ready. But if it tastes kind of vinegary, then you know it's ready. So once it's ready, you pour out, I do it in a big, big serving jug. I pour this content into the serving jug, so I leave about this much of the old liquid in there, and then I do the flavoring. So today I actually did juicing because I have a juicer, like a cold pressed juicer, and I did fresh strawberries, fresh ginger, and fresh lemon, and then I poured that mixture into my container and mixed it up, and then I poured it in these. So you're gonna need some bottles that you can burp. So what burping is basically you just open this and release the pressure and then close it. And as the days go by, you can kind of do a little turn like that. It will start to carbonate. And when it gets to where it's like really pressurized to open, you know, you've got a good amount of pressure, you got a good amount of carbonation, it's ready to drink. You can drink it just like this. It's just not carbonated, so it's not as fun. So I like to leave this probably another 3 to 7 days, depending on it. Like, this is already pretty bubbly, so I think this one's gonna do second ferment really quickly, and then it's ready to go. So that's basically it. It's super easy. It's a little intimidating at first because the SCOBY is pretty gross feeling. Let me grab my hotel. I'll show you what a hotel is. Did you need something, love?
No.
Okay. So this is my hotel. So see how big this one is? It's like a big one. So what I do is I actually just have leftover. So this is very vinegary, like really, really vinegary. So this is probably 3 years old now, and I will remove some of the SCOBYs and throw them away. If you have chickens, they love SCOBYs, and you can feed them to the SCOBYs, but I typically throw them in the trash. I don't have any chickens. But I keep this as the hotel. As long as it's covered with liquid, it's good to go. It's not going to go bad. It's just going to continue to grow and feed on itself. So I have one of these always. So in case I mess up somehow, which you don't really, but if you want to start again, so like say I wanted to start a new batch, I could pull a piece of the SCOBY. Even if I pulled like a chunk this big off of it, when you, whatever container you put it in, it will grow to the size of the container. So if I'm doing a big container, it'll grow to the entire size of that container, or if you have a smaller one. So it doesn't matter what size piece you start with, as long as it's not super thick. You don't want it to be a really thick one just because it's a pain to work with. So that's pretty much it. There's not much to it. It's fun to do. Oh, and if you are like, okay, well, I've had this one right here, so I haven't done, how long do you think it's been since I've made homemade? Like over a year?
Yeah, probably about that.
It's been a while. So I just took a SCOBY out of this hotel and I put it in a new jar, and I did just a tiny bit of this super vinegary water stuff that's in here. And then I bought a store-bought original flavored kombucha, and I put that in here, and then I brewed the tea with the sugar, and I did that just to get it started again. Sometimes it needs that little kick of something to get it going. That's how I was taught how to do it. But yeah, that's it. It's really, really easy to do. The longer you leave it, the more vinegary it's gonna get. The longer you leave it, it will get fermented to the point where it is an alcoholic beverage. So you kind of have to keep an eye on that. But as long as it's like not tasting super potent, it's not going to be like you're going to get drunk or anything from it. It just will have an alcohol content in it, which I usually buy the black label ones at the store, which are with the alcohol content, and I get like carded every single time, and I'm like, seriously, there's not like anything in here, but they still do. So that's it. So if you have any other questions about this, let me know. I don't know if you guys are asking questions. It's not showing any questions for me. So if you do, I'll go back through and answer them because I can't see it now. But yeah, that's it. So if you do the second ferment though, make sure that you're checking it every day, because it will get so pressurized that the bottle can explode. And sometimes it gets so pressurized that it like explodes all over me when I open it, not the glass itself, which it can explode the glass if you don't open it for too long. So make sure that you're burping it, because it will get very pressurized. And I would recommend putting it in the sink when you open it, because sometimes it will go a little crazy. So that's it. So any questions, let me know. Hope you guys have a great night. Bye.